Do we have to look into the camera when we answer?
You know what you guys should do? You get like,
Where do we look?
What was the first day?
Look at John's.
What was the first day you remember
John's?
walking into or working,
Yeah.
getting hired at Identity?
I remember.
I remember.
I
the first
remember
day.
being-
The reason why I
yeah.
remember the first day is because Glenn had a mullet that was so sick, and he had a trench coat, the trench coat mafia, and it was a warm summer night, and I was like, dude, how are you wearing a trench coat? It's like 105 outside, and literally I was like, this dude, and then Joe comes strolling in sandals and just like, yo, what up, yo, how you doing, dude?
Yo,
like,
I'm Joe.
Yeah. Yo, my name's Joe Playa, and I was like, this guy, where is this? And then all of a sudden, Justin's in the back room playing bouncy ball off shoes and watching Jenny Jones, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. We're working. Let's do this.
My name's Joe Luzzi. I'm the president of Identity Board Shop.
Glenn Blywise, co-owner of Identity Board Shop.
I opened up my first shop. I served pretty much my whole life. I opened up my first store in 1978. It's called J&J Boards Unlimited in Cyprus.
Nice plug
And-
for J&J there.
Yeah, and I was surfing so much that I was married and had 2 kids that I needed to get a real job. So I sold the shop. And then almost 9 years later, I had an idea to open up another store, and I needed a partner.
I was working at a different company prior to that. We were getting ready to go out of business. I was trying to help save the company. So I called Joe's company, Marlite, to see if they can come down, maybe sell some product that we can kind of last a little longer. And he came down. We had a conversation probably for a couple hours. As he was walking out, he just goes, you know, you're wasting your time here. And then probably took a couple weeks. Him and his boss came by and got me an interview. And next thing I know, I passed my interview and I was working for Marlite. We had a conversation about him opening up a skate shop, and you know, the guy that he wanted to open up with fell through. And at that time, I just bought a house and I had no money, like nothing. So I had, I think, $3,500 in the bank. And so between the $3,500 in the bank I couldn't get any of my family or anybody to loan me money. I took a $13,500 credit card cash advance, and his sister loaned me the additional money that I needed, which I think was $4,000. Just on I've never met her, just me and Joe's sister. She's like, yeah, I'll loan your partner money. And so I have to thank Mary actually for helping me start this as well.
We came up, the original name was Hot Sticks. We already had the banks, the business license,
We had
the
checkbook
sign,
ready.
checkbooks, everything ready. And then I was talking to a few people, and Hot Sticks kind of sounded like a Chinese restaurant. It sounded really stupid.
So we changed the focus of our business, and we actually decided we were going to open a Chinese restaurant.
I called Glenn up, and while I was on the phone with him, I looked through Time magazine for just words, and I saw the word identity. So then I told him we're naming the store Identity, and we changed the sign, the business license, everything. That's how we came up with the name.
If you could you state your name
Sure.
and your position at Vans?
All right, how you doing? I'm Steve Van Doren.
John Stratton.
Mark Voigt.
Hi, my name is Jake Loban.
My name's Keith Culver.
Bill Keller, I guess affectionately known in the industry as BK.
And companies currently that we're representing would be Nixon Watches,
You got the Lakai stuff.
And I work for Loser Machine and Dark Seas.
Salt Optics,
Osiris,
Vans, Off the Wall.
Polar Outdoor Stuff.
and Rostaclot as well. Imperial Motion and Catch Surf.
Do I have any peppers in my teeth? You sure I don't have any boogers? Do I smell bad?
Let's start over. You didn't ask that.
Got shoes.
Name's Mark Mazza. I do Herschel Supply and Obey Clothing.
Nick Hennessee, and I work for Hot Worldwide, Herschel, Spy, and Vestal.
Rudy Arbisa, saltwater tattoo supply. I worked for Acme Skateboards, Formula One, you know, a bunch of companies back then. I met Joe and Glenn before the store had opened. They were putting this boards on the wall, the slat wall. I took a look inside the store. I actually saw them putting up like a chain link fence. They had a white sofa, big screen TV. Their kids were super small, and I introduced myself. I was a rep at the time. Glenn was the first person that I met, spoke to him, and I asked him a question, you know, do you skate? And he said, nah, he didn't have a skateboard. Actually, he was a salesman. Him and Joe, they don't skate. So I said, you can't, you know, own a skate shop and not skate. So I went back to my parents' house, and I had some completes and stuff. I put something together and gave it to him, and that's how our friendship began. Oh yeah, it was one of my accounts. I was actually the first account they actually had, other than VK Sports.
When we first opened, we had like 40 grand to work with between the two of us. That's all we had. And that was for opening up the store, fixturizing it, buying merchandise, first and last month's rent, insurance. I mean, everything we had to work with was 40 grand. And Joe had worked with this guy back in his surf days. His name was Vic, and he owned VK Skate at the time, VK Sport. And you know, Joe was talking to Vic, and I guess Vic actually flowed us about $10,000 in merchandise on credit. And let me tell you, when you're first opening a store, 30-day terms is huge. And we had some other vendors that over time came aboard, and then pretty much within the first year, I was very few vendors that we didn't have open terms with. We ran a clean shop.
Kind of what I was saying earlier is we used to kind of have that 5-mile buffer rule.
If I remember that correctly, but I remember them taking me out, I think we went out to lunch or breakfast at the Claim Jumper across the street, and it was when the shop actually wasn't in this location, it was across the street, and I don't even know if that building's still there, it's back by the parking lot, but and they wanted Etnies in the worst way, and back then, distribution, man, it was like, they had that 5-mile rule, and it was real, like, it was like, oh, well, you're like 4.9 miles. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. And I know Joe and Glenn probably hated me at first, but we got it going like pretty quick when they got things going. And I mean, Identity's been awesome.
Through this industry, they've had that reputation of always being one of the best shops to deal with as far as a rep, because if you were having a bad month, you could always count on getting a good order from them to, you know, get you through that month.
And so I got a phone call from these guys. I didn't know who they were. So I came over, talked to them. They just seemed like really, really good, solid guys, and they seemed really committed to what they were doing, which was interesting in itself because they were coming from an industry that was completely not connected with action sports. But, you know, I could tell that they were intelligent guys and they had good heads on their shoulders. So, you know, I made the decision, you know, to open them up despite that, you know, that 5-mile buffer rule. And they've been great business partners for 20 years. And
yeah, we the store, the original store was about 1,200 square feet, and
actually it was 1440.
1440, and we were doing so much business there that we leased the place next to it. 900 square feet.
We actually bought out the flower shop. We actually paid them to move, and then broke out the wall between the two stores.
We were still working at Marlite, and then we took on a partner, and it was a good guy, and we opened up to, I think, like our second store with his help, and then we opened up to basically 5 stores. We had a warehouse.
Bought this building, then almost went broke.
The funniest one is the fact that the store that they own now, a lot of people probably don't realize, before the store was a skate shop, it was the last porno theater in California.
And so we turned it into a skate shop. It's probably one of the biggest skate shops in Orange County.
That was actually, so what's cool about Identity is it was our first account in Orange County. We had some accounts in San Diego, just a few, like a handful, and they knew somebody here, and it just like the intro happened, and I came up here, and it's been here since. So it's been probably, I want to say, 7 years maybe it's been in here. Yeah, Identity's been great. It's been a huge supporter.
Glenn and Joe, how did I like working with Glenn and Joe? They're characters, man. They are incredible humans, some of the funniest guys, quirkiest people I think I've ever met.
I love it. They're amazing, solid human beings, and you get a genuine aspect of who these dudes are, and I thoroughly enjoy working with them.
Some of the best memories I had with Identity, one was a non-working deal running into Joe. His madness of partying and getting out there and running into him at the club by himself, bellied up at the bar, handling his business, trying to hustle some ladies around him. Glenn, everybody who knows Glenn knows without a doubt the man is got a gigantic heart but could not be a bigger pain in the ass. I remember talking to him and telling him I was going to help him out and no problem, and he was just not having it. He wanted me to help out and take care of him. So I said, all right, I'll help out and I'll take care of you. And he said, no, I want you to help out and take care of me. So the dude was, he's kind of a crazy old man, but got a good heart and comes from the same background we all do.
Yeah, I remember actually I have an aunt and uncle that live right down the street, so I remember when the first Identity opened 20 years ago, and so I've been familiar with Identity since pretty much day one when they were opened up just over there right on La Palma. We've actually done a handful of events here at Identity and brought out our RV, brought out some of our pro skaters. I remember just having Jeff Baraza and Steve Van Doren outside making hot dogs.
Working with Glenn and Joe have been really tough. It's been really tough. They just beat you up for discounts and dating, and it's work. It's a job, for sure. But I love those guys. What separates Identity from some of the other shops is a good family. I feel like there's a good group of owners and employees that work together and have a common goal to help customers and have fun.
I think what makes Identity a family is that Glenn and I are pretty close to the business. We're here every day, pretty much, and especially in the beginning, we were here on the weekends a lot more. And we've developed
1 o'clock in the morning, writing orders.
Yeah, we developed a really good relationship with the employees over the years, and a lot of them have used this business as a stepping stone to stay in the industry and make a career out of it.
My name's Justin. I worked here for 5 years, started back in '97 before all this was happening.
My name's Tony. I work for Rapworks, and I worked here for about 12 years.
Byron Bergstow, and I work for Vans and Captain Finco. I did work here for almost 10 years.
Me? Oh, hi. I'm Alexa Farr. I work at Story Bakery, and I worked at Identity for like 4 years.
My name's Keith Culver. I worked for Identity for on and off 6 years, and I sell stuff now for a living to Identity.
Eric Lane. I worked here for 11 years, and I work for Salt Technology.
Matt Rodriguez. Worked for the Barracks and the Skateboard Mag, and worked here for 6, 7, maybe 8 years.
My name is Ryan Weber. I worked at Identity Board Shop for 4 years. I currently work at PacSun, where I'm a buyer, and everything I learned here at Identity Board Shop.
I guess you could say that a lot of us didn't have much going for us before.
Pretty much all of us didn't have shit going for us.
I mean, without those guys, I don't know, a lot of us wouldn't be on the path that we are now, so.
Pretty much learned everything from here. Growing up here, it was go to high school, then come straight here, and I feel like I learned more here than high school.
I mean, yeah, this was my first job. I also would go to high school and then come here, and even when we weren't working, we were hanging out here because we were like a family. And Joe and Glenn are like second fathers to me. They cared a lot, and they always wished the best for all of us and wanted to see us succeed.
And we've seen a couple develop relationships that turned into got married and have kids. And
I actually met my wife now here, just gripping boards behind the counter. I met Trieste when I was 17 and she was 19.
My name's Trieste Culver now, but it was Trieste Graham. Erin was the manager at that time. I think you were managing Garden Grove. Okay. And she was interviewing for new hires. I remember that day Erin was like, hey, I 2 o'clock I have an interview. Come to the back and check out this guy. He's hot. I was like, sweet, yes, I will.
I think I had a girlfriend at the time. She had a boyfriend, and we were just friends, and we were just, you know, working together, hanging out. And years later, fast forward, I came back to the shop after a little stint being away, and then we ended up hanging out and, you know, getting together and getting engaged and getting married, and that was, a long time ago now. We've been married for 8 years and together for almost 11. We just had our first baby, so fondest memories of Identity would be her for sure, number one.
Even my 2 daughters worked here.
My name is Erin Lucy, Joe Lucy's daughter, and I don't know how long I worked for Identity.
Tiffany Stonich, now it was Tiffany Lucy, and I worked at Identity probably for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Everything. Grunt to manager at all the stores.
Ditto. Started out on the bottom with all the boys smashing me in.
I went straight to the top. I didn't waste time. I just came in and worked my way to management.
I don't think you came straight as a manager.
I'm just Tiffany, it's a joke.
Oh.
So I think we both really enjoyed working for our father. And we had, because he was our father and the store was his baby, we had just a deeper and probably greater level of passion and commitment to the stores because of it.
But it was fun. Overall, working for my dad was fun. He had criticism left and right, but it was good. It was good humor.
Yeah, man, how many people can say, like for me, that they've made a living their whole life out of doing something they were when they were a kid? And so I really never. So that's why I think the kids that work here, because I'm still a kid at heart, there's a really good connection with the employees. I think because of that.
I think we treat people well too.
Glenn and Joe both giving me opportunity to try out some stuff to hopefully work in skating for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man, he's a man. Like, he helped me out with like a lot of things, you know, pointed me in like the right direction, like what I should do with like my skating, and then like Joe's just like been like real chill. So like with work, you know, he was telling me like what I had to do, so I just get it done. Glenn's like to do that pushy to do shit all the time.
Glenn's the one that we always like talked to, gave advice, and he was always there for like anything. Always there to throw contests here and there. Yeah, they're tight. Pretty sick.
Fool's a really nice dude. I'm glad Fuller just let me work here and skate for here as long as I have. He's always helped me out with like buying my plane ticket to Florida and shit for a skate contest. He's helped a lot out.
I remember he actually took us to, we went to San Francisco. We had like an Identity tour thing. That shit was so rad. Like, I was, I think 16 or 17, and we had like a, you know, all went in the van, went out to Frisco, skated different parks out there. Like, that was really tight. Like, I thank Glenn and Joe for all that, dude. Like, that was pretty tight for being young and going out. Like, that's cool.
Just wanted to say congratulations to Identity on their 20-year anniversary. Good job, guys. And I also want to say thank you for letting me take part of that for 10 years. Thank you for the memories I've made, for giving me a friend that I've now had for 10 years, even though we live states apart. I appreciate everything you do. I'm sure the community appreciates everything you've done for them, the schools, the kids, everybody around you. So keep on doing what you're doing. I am so proud of you guys for making it this far, and here is to another 20. Good job, guys.
Joe, Glenn, and Identity, I'm so happy for you guys to be here for 20 years. I hope you have another 20 years and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Joe and Glenn, you guys have been phenomenal. Truly, you guys have been fantastic. You've always treated me well. I've had an absolute blast working with you, and it's cool seeing a cool shop, a small shop, stay small. Both you guys actually do love what you do, and that's why you're still doing it. Keep it up, and to another 20 years, man.
Glenn, Joe, happy 20th. 20-year curse for a lot of brands in our industry because they've blown themselves out, and 20 years turns into, oh crap, like how do we keep it real? And I feel like you guys have done that, and I feel like if you guys keep doing that, you're true to the kids that are working behind the counters, and you're helping them progress and helping them move forward. It's 20 more years for Identity, you know what I mean? Keep doing what you guys are doing and support the core brands, and like I said, support those kids in the community, and sky's the limit.
Congratulations for making it 20 years. Southern California, you guys all came from surfing and came from the right place and provided just a rad shop for kids to hang out, and supported a skate team and created a lot of memories for those guys and created a local community around your shop and around skateboarding. So I thank you for that.
Hey, I remember doing the 25th anniversary. It's right there. If you want to shine on that thing right there, that's it out there. I didn't know how we ever survived 25 years. And that was our invitation that we sent out everywhere as an outsole. I just say, hey guys, 20 years is awesome. 25 years, only 5 years away. And we know that you're going to make 50 years because you guys are great guys. Congratulations.
Well, if you've lasted that long in anything, it's because you care about it and you're in it for the right reasons. So I'm happy for you guys. Congrats.
Guys, it's been an amazing 20 years to work with you guys, and stoked you're here and still doing it. You know, from day one, I knew you guys were committed to doing you know, having the store, and you've done a great job of doing it, and I hope to work with you guys for many more years to come. Congratulations.
Final send-offs for Glenn and Joe. Well, in rep terms, it would be 1, 2, 2, 1.
Congratulations for 20 years of hard work, and here's to another 20 years. I'm proud of both you guys for doing what people said you couldn't do.
Congratulations. That's, I think, a really big, important thing that you've been able to last for 20 years. There's lots of people who tell me that they're shocked, I guess, that it's been 20 years that we've been open, because you don't see most stores last that long.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing. Like, getting to meet people like them is really cool too. And we love Glenn and Joe.
Identity's a part of the family, so you have to be around forever for my kids to shop here.
I want to say thanks to Joe and Glenn. I think it's so super cool that once bosses, now good friends. Thanks for giving my brother an opportunity to work here and to grow into his industry. And Joe, yes, my mom will have the Christmas cookies this year for you.
Huge thank you for my career, my husband, and now my son.
You know, working here at such a young age really helped to lay the foundation for my career, and it taught me a lot. And it's definitely contributed to my success. And also, I met my fiance of 17 years here at Identity. You know, I owe Identity a great deal, so thank you so much.
You know, the list of people that we can thank for supporting us and being there for us is tremendous. I mean, you can imagine over 20 years how many people we could thank, from our vendors, our customers, our employees, our family, for, you know, being there on those late nights. And you're in retail, there's nothing normal about it. So my thank yous go out to anybody and everybody that supported this shop from day one all the way through today. Vendors, family, friends.
First and foremost, it's the customer. If we didn't have the customer, we would be out of business. So I want to thank everybody who has definitely supported this shop. And then the employees. We've had a lot of great, loyal employees. And for me to name every one of them, I just couldn't do. And then Glenn. I mean, me and Glenn worked really good together. We argued. We argued at times. It was a good partnership. So he put the customer and then the employees we hired and mine and Glenn's working dynamics together.
You know, it's like any other relationship. As long as the good in the relationship outweighs the bad in the relationship, you're going to be successful. And we just happen to be successful for 20 years because we've had a really strong working dynamic. And I thank Joe for giving me the opportunity. And now it turned out 20 years later to be a great investment and a great opportunity. And our friendship has stayed strong since.
Let me tell you something. If you don't have the stomach to risk financially, emotionally, everything you have, you shouldn't be going into business. And that's pretty much what we did. Wasn't a lot, but we risked everything. And it can turn your stomach some days. But at the end of the day, we're still here, and it's provided us with a pretty good living. And so I thank Identity Board Shop.